we're going to work on lesson 15 here, where we're going to learn about the remainder theorem. And this first problem is a problem that we sort of talked about before, but just a little review so we get an understanding of how the remainder theorem can help us. So we have a polynomial function, f of x, and there it is. It's a fourth degree polynomial function. And we have a coefficient, u, that we don't know the value of. So we don't really know what the value of u is here. And we're asked to find it. And we are told that x minus 2 is a factor. Okay? So the first thing we have to realize is that if x minus 2 is a factor of f of x, then when I take f of x and I divide it by x minus 2, it's going to have a remainder of 0. Okay, so if x minus 2 is a factor, I know for a fact that the remainder has to be 0. So we're going to do this using synthetic division, and all we're going to do is we're going to take f of x here, and we're going to divide that by x minus 2. Okay, and we're going to do it using synthetic division. Step 1 is synthetic division. Make sure my polynomial function, the divisor, is the dividend rather, is in standard form, and it has no missing terms. So we have a degree 4, degree 3, degree 2, degree 1, degree 0. So that is standard form, decreasing order, and there are no missing powers. So the next thing we do is we take the divisor, x minus 2, set it equal to 0, and solve. When I solve that, I get x is equal to positive 2. That goes inside my small Gazinta house. And then I write the coefficients of my dividend. A 1, negative u, 24, negative 32, and 16. Now, all I'm going to do is just do polynomial, do some synthetic division here. So we'll start on the left. We'll drop the 1 down, and then we multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. And then I add. Well, I see that when I'm adding here, I'm adding negative u and 2. And that's just going to be negative u plus 2. So that doesn't really help us. However, remember, if negative x minus 2 is a factor, then my remainder must be 0. So I can work backwards. The way I would get that remainder of 0 is to find a value that goes in this green box, that when I add to positive 16, I get a 0, and that value is negative 16. And now I work backwards. To get this negative 16, I must have multiplied this number by 2. So 2 times what value gives me my negative 16? And that is, of course, negative 8. And then I work backwards again. Negative 32 plus some number must have been negative 8. That number must be 24. And then I must have multiplied some number by 2 to get to 24. That number is 12. And then 24 plus a number must be equal to 12. That number must be negative 12. Now when I get to this point, I know that my 2 multiplied by this number must have given me negative 12, so this number is now negative 6. Now I have the equation that I can solve. I can bring that right over here. Negative u plus 2 is equal to negative 6. I just solved that for u. I do that by subtracting 2 from both sides. And I get negative u is equal to negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8. Divide both sides by negative 1. U must be equal to 8.